Hey Tubies, it's Sugar. So I wanted to talk about something that I guess is very personal to me, and I know that there are a lot of other women out there that have experienced what I'm going through. So, I've been pretty public about being a diabetic. I am a type 2 diabetic, but for me it is genetic, meaning that my paternal father has it. My paternal father, that's redundant. My father has it. My paternal grandmother has it. My mother most likely has it, but she won't go to a doctor. Long story. My maternal mother, again redundant, my maternal grandmother had it. So both, the diabetes runs on both sides of my family and immediate relatives. So for me to be diabetic is not a surprise. They were testing me for diabetes when I was like, I can remember as early as like 8 or 9 years old, they're drawing blood and testing me for it. And I got diagnosed when I turned 18. So, which is roughly when my father was diagnosed. And he's a type 2 diabetic as well, and was his entire life, and is. Because he's still alive. It sounded like he wasn't alive. But the reason why I'm going into detail about my family history of diabetes is because diabetes is becoming an epidemic in the United States. Now, I believe a lot of that is the growth hormones and our food. Go on a diatribe on that right now. But in my opinion, it's the chemicals in our food that's causing diabetes. That's what's causing obesity. And one of my major pet peeves is, because I'm a plus size girl and I'm a type 2 diabetic, the minute that people see me and hear that I'm a diabetic, they immediately, that was my dog and my cat fighting. Anyways, they immediately think that I'm lazy, that I eat badly, that I don't work out. I've had doctors who, like, say if my normal doctor isn't available and I need to go see a new doctor or whatever, or like when I landed in the emergency room last June, they take one look at me and find out I'm diabetic, and they instantly start telling me to lose weight. Well, my diabetes is not... I did not become diabetic because of my weight. So that's one of the prejudices that I experience as a plus size woman with my diabetes, is they see that I'm a curvy girl and they immediately think that I eat badly, that I don't work out. None of that is true. I actually, you can ask my friends, you can ask, anybody that really spends any amount of time with me, I'm anal retentive about what I put into my body. Now, on a side note, I also do not diet. Because if you diet, then you feel like you're being deprived. So if I want that piece of chocolate fudge, I'm going to eat that piece of chocolate fudge. But that probably means I'm not going to have the mashed potatoes, or I'm not going to eat the cheesecake later that day, or I'm going to go for a walk. There's balance, and you have to find a balance, and you have to find what works for your body. Another reason why I'm a curvy girl and losing weight is so difficult for me is because I have PCOS. I didn't get diagnosed with PCOS I think I had it for 10 years. 10 years before I was diagnosed with it. Basically, what they found was that even on my diabetic medication, my sugars weren't going down. My fasting sugars, I could go 2 or 3 days without eating, and my fasting sugars would still be really high. And that was when they started investigating, well, why is her fasting sugar so high? She hasn't eaten in, you know, like 2 days or whatever. And, you know, and why is her fasting sugar so this high? Like, they should have gone down by now. Well, it was the PCOS. That's the reason why. So that's one of the symptoms of PCOS, if you're diabetic and you are PCOS, is your fasting sugars will stay high, but then they also will not spike as much when you do eat. So, like, in the United States, a healthy blood sugar is between 90 and 120. 90 is if you haven't eaten all day, and 120 if you just ate Thanksgiving dinner. And I would be at 150 with not eating all day, and then I would eat, and I would go up to 180. Okay? Versus most people who are diabetic would be at, you know, 150, 200 without eating all day, without eating and no medicine. And then they would eat, and then they would go up to 300 or 400. Okay, so this is why both the diabetes and the PCOS are maintenance disorders, maintenance diseases. There's really, like, once you have it, you're not gonna not have it anymore. You know, it's just the way that it is. Like, you're gonna have to live with it. Because I kind of wanted to share my story so that other women out there know that if you know that you don't feel right, if you know that your body, something's wrong in your body, don't ignore it. You know, even if the doctor, you know, is like, oh, nothing's wrong, get a second opinion. You know, and just because you're diabetic, just because you're PCOS, don't let people make you feel that you're fat or that you're lazy. You know, I'm a performer, and I, you know, have rehearsals almost every day. I dance almost every day. I've been active my entire life. My calves, this is just kind of funny. My calves are so huge that I can't wear like normal boots that go up over my calves because the muscle is too big. My calves are all muscle. My legs are really muscular because I dance, but I'm still a bigger girl. But just because I'm a bigger girl doesn't mean that I'm out of shape. And I think there's so much prejudice and so much hate from other women. And it's really sad. I've never had a man make me feel fat, to be honest. I've never had men make me feel really unattractive. I've had other women make me feel that way. Badly. And it's really sad that we women do that. I mean, I had an eating disorder. I was an adult and I had an eating disorder. It was in my 20s. And I still have days when it's really hard on me, because I have to be so particular with my diet. Because of the diabetes, because of the PCOS, I have to really make sure that I eat healthy. And sometimes I feel like all food is poison, and that's the eating disorder in the back of my head kind of rearing its ugly face. At the same time, I really enjoy cooking. I really enjoy eating. I like food. And I really wanted to speak out because I wanted other women to know that you're not alone. You're not the only one. And for the most time, I have great days. Like, most of the time I feel wonderful. I feel great. I have a very loving man in my life. And I do not have any children because of the PCOS and the diabetes. I don't know if I can. I'm 30. So I really only have about 10, maybe 15 years left. If I'm lucky. I don't know if I want to have kids. I really haven't made up my mind. But I can always adopt if the time's right and my body isn't available. I'm also worried with my health issues that whether or not I can carry a child. If it's gonna hurt my kidneys, am I gonna have a steel magnolia situation? These are questions and things that I live with. And I do not have insurance. I really don't have regular medical care like I'm supposed to, because I wanted to be a performer and I work for myself, and the system here in the United States is so messed up. And even when I was working, the health insurance that I had didn't cover me because I had pre-existing conditions. So I really wasn't getting the medical care that I needed then anyways. So I decided, screw the health insurance. It's not really helping me anyway. So I'm going to go pursue my dreams, I'm just rambling at this point. But there are things that you can do to make yourself feel better. But the first thing is you gotta find love for yourself. You have to love and respect your body. Your body is a temple. And I'm pagan, but even if you're not pagan, as a pagan, I believe that I am a goddess and that I must treat my body as the vessel of a goddess. Now, if you're not pagan, if you're Christian, then God made that body. Why are you destroying the body that God made? He gave you that. Why are you hating what He made? He made that. So I think that all women are beautiful no matter what size they are, no matter what shape they are. And when you find that inner light within yourself and you can just glow with the purity and the happiness of it, then nothing else matters. I don't even own a scale. I've never owned a scale in my life. I have no interest in owning a scale. My weight does fluctuate. People are, they're like, oh, you lost weight. How much weight have you lost? I don't know. My clothes still fit the same. Or I'm, who knows? So just love yourself. Just love yourself. If you want to have all your dreams come true, the first thing you have to do is love yourself. And it's hard. It's hard because you have the media and society and everybody telling you that you have to fit these unapproachable or unreachable, you know, goals or whatever, and just turn off the TV. Stop reading the fashion magazines. I stopped reading it. I used to love them. I used to have 10, 15 subscriptions, especially when I worked at Macy's and I worked for all the different cosmetic companies. And you know what? That's when I had my eating disorder. And I don't read them anymore. I get my fashion tips from you guys, from YouTube. That's where I get my fashion. And I get my beauty from you guys because I can filter what I want to hear and what I don't want to hear. And I don't want to hear the negative anymore. You know, I don't want to hear about losing weight and diet pills. I want to hear about eating healthy and being strong. You know, I don't care what I weigh as long as I can still run, as long as I can still dance, as long as my body still gets up and moves and I can walk and I can enjoy life, then my body does what it does. I've been so ill for so much of my life. There have been times where I've been bedridden and I couldn't even get out of bed. And I've learned to be so thankful for my good days, for when I'm healthy, for when I can dance for 3 hours straight and I can walk several miles. And, you know, if your body functions the way it's supposed to, then there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. And don't let anyone, anything, any magazine, any television show tell you differently. Because if you love it, it will become beautiful. Alrighty, I'm gonna stop rambling / venting / I don't know what I'm doing. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.